But they might never be made public.
Good evening. Township of Lacey Caucus Meeting, February 25th, 2021. I'll read the statement. We'll rise for salute to the flag. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business this evening, I have reached out to major health partners around the county, so in the spirit of fairness, several different stakeholders around the county tonight. I thought it appropriate in the time that we're in here, all around the country. RWGF Barnabas has graciously accepted an offer to speak at our caucus meeting for a few minutes, so please come up, identify yourself, and welcome to our township, and thank you for arriving here this evening.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having us. On behalf of myself and my colleagues at the Community Medical Center, we're happy to be here. I see very familiar faces. You guys have been great partners with us, and I appreciate it very much. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes of an update. I'm so proud of the people that work at Community and what we've done over the past year. I mean, this has been a tough year for all of us, but you know, the people at Community have risen to the occasion through very difficult times. I'd like to just begin by giving you a status report on where we are with COVID and you know, what the trends I see and how we're doing with that. So I'll start by, you know, again, if you think about the beginning of the pandemic, we have about 16 units, different nursing units in our hospital. Of those 16 units, at one point, 12 of them were filled with COVID patients. So the first wave, we were pretty much overrun with COVID. And then we saw the break during the summer, and we saw it go down significantly. At the height, we were dealing with about 160 to 180 patients a day in the hospital with COVID. So it was pretty devastating. And we did a lot of great things to make sure that our patients were safe, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. So then we got through the summer, and all of a sudden, you know, we hoped that maybe it was over, and I think we were all kind of lulled into a false sense of security. We went as low as about 10 to 15 patients a day, and then come November, December, we saw the spike again. Spike wasn't as great, but what we saw was the spike has lasted a lot longer this time than the first time. If anything, what we saw when we plotted out, we saw a mountain the very first time. It went up, and then it came down pretty quickly. This time it's up, and it's stayed up for quite some time. And now we're finally seeing the break. We're finally seeing things come down. Through this all, just to give you a sense of, you know, I think people get a lot more notoriety and press up north. We're the third busiest COVID hospital in the state, and we continue to be the third busiest COVID hospital in the state. So again, I think it's a credit to the people that I work with that we really just do our job. We're here to keep people safe and really help the community. Right now, so for about 2 months, we were averaging somewhere between 110 and 120. So we were down from the 160, 80. But 110, 120. We had 6 nursing units which were filled with COVID patients. Over the past few weeks, we finally saw the break where it started to go down. And so now we're averaging around 70 to 80, and we've been in that range, which is great. It feels like a relief. The thing I think that is most exciting for the staff is that last week we actually turned one of our 6 COVID units back to a regular unit. So I think people are finally saying, oh, thank God. And next week, we'll probably turn another one back. We're still the third busiest hospital in the state with around 70 to 80. But what we're seeing statewide, so you can see it statewide going down. And if you think about the last month, about a month ago, we were seeing 5,000 new cases across the state a day. And this past few weeks, we're seeing 2,000 to 2,500. So obviously across the state, the numbers are starting to drift down. I think that's, again, a great tribute to what we're doing in vaccinating the public. Community is a vaccination site. We were there from day one as a vaccination site. In the beginning, it was for our staff and for our physicians. We've done 2,500 about of our staff people. There's 3,200 doctors and nurses and other ancillary personnel. So it gives you a flavor of how many people at the hospital have been vaccinated. And then we went to the public. And so we've done almost 4,000 public people as well. So we're up around 6,000, 7,000 that we've done. And the mitigating factor on this is we would do a lot more, but we've been having a hard time, and you're hearing this across the state, of getting the vaccine. We finally got a delivery yesterday, so we'll be back in business. We're actually doing it this week, but it was a stockpile we had for second doses previously. Next week we'll start back again with first doses, and so we're going to continue to open up and do whatever we can. My friend Terry Cabell here has been instrumental in the arena site. So Barnabas has also been supporting the arena site, and Terry's been there every day helping us and making sure that we're vaccinating a lot of people, and they've done a great job at the arena. You know, they've done, I don't even know, how many thousands, Terry?
Over
50?
Yes.
So 50,000, and then we've got, you know, our 6,000 or 7,000. So we're doing everything we can to keep everybody safe. I think one of the concerns that I continue to have is people are still not coming back. Our emergency room volume is down. And so part of my message to the public is really about the safety of the environment. We do everything we can to keep the place safe. Every person that gets admitted gets tested, so we know whether they're positive, negative. We make sure that we place them in the right place. And I won't bore you with all the details. You've heard it probably on TV and everything else about how the hospitals are trying to keep people safe, the way we clean rooms, the way we do PPE. PPE is not, you know, personal protective equipment is not an issue anymore. We've got plenty of supply to keep our staff safe. And we actually insist that patients, because what we found is a lot of patients are coming in and bringing COVID in with them. So we try and make sure that all patients also wear masks. I know that sometimes is a problem, but again, we try and do everything we can to keep people safe, and I think we've done a great job. Very rarely are people coming in, very rarely I'll say our staff, in fact, they can count it on one hand, that our staff has given somebody COVID. It's really the other way around. Our staff has gotten sick, but it's really from people bringing it in from the outside. So back to the emergency room and the safety of it, but my concern is that people are really avoiding health care. They continue to not come in, and what we're seeing is people coming in much sicker than previously. And so part of my message to you, and again, you're the community, you're the people that have the voice and are in touch with the people in the community, is to continue to bring that message. Don't delay your health care. It's important. Heart Month is this month. You know, we've done a whole bunch of events on that already, and last night we did an event on TV and taped it. And so if you're interested, we'll give you the links and people can view that, and you can send it out if you like to others, because I think it's important that we do that. A lot of other things going on at the hospital. 2 weeks from now, we'll have our first helicopter will be available. So part of this also is about safety and the things that are going on in community. We're very proud of the work that we're doing and how we're expanding what we're doing. We've got a lot of new services. We just opened a new vascular lab, cardiovascular lab, so we're excited about that. We have construction going on at Barnegat for a big women's center hub. As you know, we have the hub here in Forked River. We have others going up around. We have a big outpatient hub that we're putting up in West Toms River. So again, we're trying to, because part of my commitment is to bring the services out to the community. It's really no longer, you know, if you're sick, I want you to come there and you're going to be safe and we'll take care of you. But we also have an obligation for the health of our community and bring the services out to them. And so we're doing a lot of work in that regard. Again, I'm excited about the helicopter. Why is that so important? Because at the end of the day, if somebody's really sick and we've got to get them somewhere, we can do that very quickly. It's 14 minutes from us to Robert Wood Johnson, which has, you know, certainly the quaternary care that people may need. But, you know, when I talk about Heart Month as well, we're one of the busiest cardiac hospitals in the state of New Jersey. I don't think people realize that. We do 3,000 cardiac caths a year, over 3,000. And state-of-the-art equipment that we have. So again, we're committed to the health of our community. We're committed to being a partner with you and really I look to you in this group as to what are the services that you hear that people need, because we're devoted to getting that out to the community and making sure that everybody is safe. And you know, our mission is really simple. Our responsibility is for the health of our community. That's really the simple part of our mission. And that's really what we tell all employees. It's none of this fancy stuff, 2 pages long, like my friend Rob wrote my speech here, which I have no idea what it says. He's going to get mad at me. But hopefully I got some of it. But you know, we're responsible for the health of our community. We take that very seriously. Not the health of the community in the hospital, the health of our community. And you are part of our community. So whatever we can do to make sure that we support you and the people in this community, we're willing to do. So I'll end it there and open it to any questions. I'd be happy to answer anything for you.
I think one of the things, the points that you really needed to hit home is what I hear in public health now, what I hear in Lacey Township and all around the county. People were afraid
Yep.
to go to the hospital, afraid for their cardiac care, afraid for their cancer care, their chemo, things like that. It's good that you have separated staff out over there and dedicated air rooms to keep people safe, and people need to know that. So I appreciate you coming out here. Again, I invite everyone in the medical community who wants to have a shot at our major hospital associations, but you accepted. I'm grateful, and thank you for informing our patients. I know you do a lot of work other than medical.
Yep.
You're out doing education, prevention, chronic disease information, so we appreciate it here in Lacey Township. Thanks so much.
You're welcome, and you're going to see a lot more of that from us. So again, I encourage you to really give us feedback as to what you think is needed, because that's really what we're here for. We're not here to just build fancy programs that nobody's going to use. We're here to build the programs that people need in this community. And why I focus on the helicopter is because it's really about, I want to be able to do as much services at our hospital. We don't want people traveling all over the place for their services. We want to be able to give them the services here, but when somebody needs to go somewhere else, we're dedicated to get them. I'm not foolish enough to think that I can do everything for everybody. That doesn't make sense. But we want to make sure that we can get people where they need to go if they need it, because that's our obligation. It's to keep people healthy. It's not to, you know, be arrogant and think that we can do everything for everybody. So again, but I want to do, and I would say, if you ask me, I'd say I want to do 95% of the work for our community here, so they don't have to travel. And then when we have to get that 5% of the people to some higher level of care, we want to be able to do that quickly and make sure that we're keeping them safe. So thank you so much for your support for us. And again, I welcome any comments, questions, and I really would like to come back again in the future just to give you updates on specific programs that we're doing, so you know what we're doing at Community. It's an exciting new day at Community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Item number 2, special use permit. Exodus Recovery Center, 500 Route 9, flea market, June 5th, 2021.
This has been reviewed by the zoning office and has been approved. They're just looking for approval to have it out in the parking lot from 9 to 3. I just need a motion if you wish to approve it.
Second.
You can't second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have nothing else to add on. Does anyone else?
Nope.
Okay, motion to close.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Township of Lacey Township meeting, February 25th, statement. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. We'll salute the flag, have a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1, second reading of ordinance 2021-05, providing for funding for radio communication upgrades.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, providing for the acquisition of various capital equipment, appropriating $1,290,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,225,500 in bonds and notes to finance a portion of the cost therefore authorized in and by the Township of Lacey. It's exactly what the mayor said with regards to police communication, radios, and also pagers for the first aid and fire company. Second reading, we open the floor to public comment.
Seeing none, make a motion to close it.
Second.
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Motion to move
Motion
it.
on the ordinance?
Motion to move
Second,
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
it. Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 2, second reading of ordinance 2021-06, authorizing donation of property to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the donation of Block 520, Lot 22 to the United States of America Department of Interior Fish and Wildlife Service pursuant to NJSA 48:12-13B1. This is a valueless piece of property which can probably only be seen on low tide days. Fish and Wildlife has reached out to us and is interested in acquiring it since they can own everything surrounding it. It's back behind what we would call Bayberry Village or Murray Grove, and we are donating it to them.
Move it.
Second reading.
Second reading?
Open the floor to comment.
Seeing none, make a motion to close it.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Move
Motion
it.
on the ordinance.
Move it.
Second.
All in
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 3, second reading of ordinance 2021-07, amending and supplementing Chapter 291 Stormwater Regulations.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 291 entitled Stormwater Regulations for Non-Pinelands Areas so as to amend various sections. Basically, the entire chapter has been amended in accordance with the new guidelines issued by the Department of Environmental Protection. It's 31 pages. Second reading. Open the floor.
On the floor.
Seeing none, make a motion to close it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move it.
Motion on the ordinance.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 4, resolution 2021-79, authorizing the execution of shared services agreement with the County of Ocean.
A resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing execution of interlocal services agreement with the County of Ocean for the Prosecutor's Office Move Over Grant Program. Motion?
Move
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
it. Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 5, resolution 2021-80, authorizing the tax collector to cancel uncollectible taxes.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing tax collector to cancel uncollectible taxes. What does this mean? It means that there was a duplicate assessment on lots 16 and 17 in block 1739. It was originally combined with lot 5, and in order to correct the assessment, it should be $136,600 for all the lots and canceling the taxes on lot 16 and 21.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 6, 2021-81, authorizing a refund of a building permit fee.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizes a refund of building department fee issued by the Lacey Township Building Department. This is for somebody who is canceling the solar project that they were going to perform. We're refunding them their permit fee of $341.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 7, resolution 2021-82, authorizing the release of a maintenance bond for Cimarron Woods.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing release of a maintenance guarantee for Cimarron Woods GS Realty Incorporated. This is on block 1026, lot 7, block 1125, lots 37 through 53, also known as, to many of you, Captain Giglio Way Development.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 8, resolution 2021-83, authorizing the reduction of performance bond for Phase 2D of Seabreeze at Lacey.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the reduction of a site improvement performance guarantee for Seabreeze at Lacey Phase 2D, conditioned upon the posting of a new performance guarantee. This is for the major site plan application 14-MJS02, block 1901.17, lot 196. And again, this is a reduction in the original bond price.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 9, resolution 2021-84, authorizing the reduction of performance bond for Phase 2C of Seabreeze at Lacey.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing reduction of a site improvement performance guarantee for Seabreeze at Lacey Phase 2C, conditioned upon the posting of a new performance guarantee. Again, this is based on the engineer's recommendation in accordance with the site plan review. It is for block 1901.17, lot 196. and it's just a reduction in the bond.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
yes,
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 10, Resolution 2021-85, authorizing refund of deposit monies.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing release of deposit monies held for the use of municipal facilities.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
yes,
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 11, Resolution 2021-86, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the payment of township bills in the amount of $653,778.71.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
yes,
And Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 12, motion to approve township meeting minutes of February 11th, 2011.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Aye.
Okay, everybody
Item
else?
13, motion to approve caucus meeting minutes of February 11th, 2021.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Abstain.
Aye.
Item number 14, motion to approve raffle license application for the Rotary Club of Forked River.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have, no way out. No way out.
Comments from the committee, Deputy Mayor Giuliano.
thank you, Mayor. Unfortunately, lately, it's been a lot of sad news, you know.
Very.
Losing a lot of great people. But this week, you know, losing Dick Ritchie, which I'm sure a lot of people know in this town. Definitely a very iconic man. He's built up Lacey. He's done so many things. I think on the Board of Ed, right, Veronica? Was he on the Board of Ed too?
No,
Was he just Township Committee?
he was chairman for the planning board for a number of years.
Number of
Yeah.
I also had the honor of doing business with him for 20 years. When I came here to this town, I had the honor to rent a building from him next to his shop and get to know him over that 20 years I did business with him. My deepest sympathy goes out to his family. I know they've had a lot of bad times losing his son, Rich, too. It was, you know, I can only imagine what he's got to. He was definitely a great man. He gave back to the community in so many different ways. The way I look at people like that, he was just an all-around great gentleman. He really was, Dick Ritchie. I know, on the second note, I know what the schools are going through, you know, trying to get back to some type of normalcy. I want to wish them all the best to them. I know it's a hard road for them, but I'm sure they'll get through everything they need to. Public Works, I know the parks are going to start opening. As you notice, the weather's starting to get nice. I think we're done with winter time, I hope.
Well, don't jinx us now.
Huh?
Don't jinx us.
No, I think we're done with the winter time. I think the spring is here, so I want to thank them for the great job they're going to be doing, along with all of the volunteer organizations in Lacey Township, the police department for keeping us safe. That's all I have, Mayor.
Deputy Mayor Giuliano, thank you. Committeeman Dykoff.
Thank you very much. So I'm gonna go through our agenda a little bit. So I want people to understand what we do up here. So at the beginning of our agenda, we had the second reading of an ordinance. An ordinance is basically a law. So what we do is, the first part of that is we do a first reading. And we vote on that, and it doesn't mean we're approving it. It means that we're approving it to hear. And then at the second reading, you'll notice we open it up to public comment. And that's the time for the public to come up and voice any concerns or ideas they might have. And that's only when we get to pass it. The other thing I wanted to talk about was we had authorizing a refund of a building permit fee. So it's interesting, for those of you who don't know, I work for Recreation in Berkeley Township. So very often what will happen, someone will pay for a trip or something like that, or in this case, a building permit. And they'll come in and say, well, I changed my mind, I want a refund. Well, it's not that easy. We're stewards of your money. So that basically means what we have to do is, it has to go before the committee, and we have to determine whether or not the refund of that money is warranted. So everything we do is above board. So it's pretty, you know, as you follow through it, it's a basic understanding of how government works. Of course, as Mr. Giuliano said, Dick Ritchie. Wow. I remember knowing Dick Ritchie 25 years ago when I first came down here. I remember he was one of the fathers of Lacey Township. He and George Broom and John Parker, of course, and Rich Halsworth, and the list goes on. But I remember sitting on the planning board and Dick Ritchie being the chairman. I remember being part of the Kiwanis and Dick Ritchie being part of it. And, you know, it just, what a gentleman, as Nick said, just a good man. Excellent businessman. I mean, just an amazing businessman. You just felt good when you dealt with Dick Ritchie. He will be sorely missed, and my condolences go out to his family. It's been a rough year for all, but it just keeps on happening, unfortunately. Hopefully, just like the winter, we're almost through it. I am not as confident as Mr. Giuliano is, but I'm pretty confident. And with that in mind, I want to thank our Public Works Department for the excellent job they did in this winter. These snowstorms, there was no rhyme or reason, whether it was sleet, whether it was slush, whether it was snow, freezing. It was rough. And our township did a great job. Our county did a great job clearing the county roads. I know we can't make everyone happy, but they did the best they can, and I think they did a very good job. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Committeeman McDonald.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to pick up on Dick Ritchie, but in a different way. When I found out about it, I sent a text to a good friend of mine. He had sat up here with Rich Hauser, and he had already known about it. And we were texting each other back and forth, and about 11 o'clock, my cell phone rings. And Dick Ritchie and Rich Hauser and I talked about Dick Ritchie until about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I knew Dick a little bit. Rich was, for 40 years, was his friend, and he was telling me story after story. And I had tears coming down my eyes. But the one thing that I remember about Dick Ritchie, besides just being a great gentleman, was that his gas station here was immaculate. Absolutely immaculate. He wouldn't have it any other way. And he's going to be sorely, sorely missed. Let me talk about what's happened here in the state of New Jersey a little bit. Marijuana. I think the last time I read something about it, you can smoke it here, but you just can't buy it right now. So I think they're going to have to change that a little bit. And the school, the budget from New Jersey's down 7%. I talked about this last 2 weeks ago. This is a crime. This is a crime. And then we got our great governor saying, hey, no new taxes. But where's all the money? Where's the increase? He's increasing all these services and stuff. Where's that coming from? Government doesn't work that way.
4.8 billion.
All he's doing is kicking it down the road. And we are going to get stung very, very badly in the near future on all of this, because if you looked at where the 10-year bond has gone up since election day, it's gone up almost 75 basis points. And that's with Chairman Powell trying to hold it down. So that's a big problem there too. The last thing I want to say is there's a gentleman at the other end of this that's got a birthday, and I'm going to wish Mr. Kennis a happy birthday, the big 5-0. Half a century old, to make you feel old.
He's showing pretty good, though, I gotta tell you.
He does. He does.
Enough for nothing.
There's no place I'd rather be.
You know what? I'm not buying that one, Steve.
That's good.
But that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman. Committeeman Kennis.
Thank you, Mayor. I would also like to mention the passing of Dick Ritchie, a local businessman and active community member for many years. Dick was a friend to all and a dedicated and active member of the Rotary Club, and also served on the planning board for many years. He will be missed by us all, and we offer our sincerest sympathy to his family. I also want to touch on the governor signed the marijuana legislation, and there's two takeaways. To note that there is no age where it is illegal to smoke marijuana. There are no repercussions for smoking marijuana, an absolute travesty. And two, the bill specifically says that the odor of marijuana does not warrant an investigation. And in addition, the bill includes penalties for officers who wrongly exert their authority when it comes to marijuana investigations. So if you were police, I don't know why you would bother you're not even going to try to, again, investigate anybody for marijuana. So it's essentially a free-for-all, legalizing it for all. And if there's one thing that New Jersey does well, it is getting its priorities wrong. Those are my comments, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Committeeman Kennis. I too would like to just give condolences to Mr. Ritchie. He was absolutely one of the fathers of our town, up there with Mr. Parker and so many others. And although I did not know Mr. Ritchie, I certainly have heard the name a great many times, and I'm very, very sorry for the family. In the times that we're in now, with regard to this COVID-19, many, many people have been reaching out to me regarding this vaccine. I wrote a letter. I posted it at laceytownship.org. It's in red. I want everybody to click on it. I'm firmly believing that technology should never be a barrier to care, rather a facilitator to it. When people are trying to get an appointment for a vaccine, go there and look at it and read it. And what I did was I reached out to our chief of police, our Ocean County Sheriff Mastronardi, our local CERT team liaison. And when more appointments become available, we're going to help people through CERT team members acquire an appointment, fill out, navigate the internet if they are technology challenged, or if they're in a technology, what they call these days a desert, and they don't have access. We're going to help them. We have an obligation to help those people get care. We need this vaccine. We need it for herd immunity. We need it to get rid of this plague that we're in. So if we have volunteers, and we will at the ready, we will be able to do that and facilitate that for our people in need. Please visit our website and click on that letter. I want to talk, we heard Committeeman McDonald talk a little about the budget. We were on a conference call the other day with Governor Murphy. He talked about $624 million for schools. I guess he meant the Abbott districts or some major cities in our state, because our district here in Lacey at home, which is what I care about, is losing money. $624 million earmarked and carved out of the budget. To me, it shouldn't be robbed from Peter to pay Paul. That's the problem and the malaise that this state is in with the property tax debacle. So it should be divided evenly and equally among both urban and suburban districts. So I respectfully disagree with our governor there, as respectfully as I can possibly be. Our 150th anniversary, our town turns 150 on March 23rd. I want to thank the DPW. I reached out to them. I've been active along with Committeeman McDonald and some of my other colleagues on the 150 committee. We are going to have on the 23rd from 8 a.m. to 7 at night at the rec building, people who want to drop off a standard envelope only. No large packages. Want something to go into our time capsule? You're free to do that. DPW and Mr. Kraska have already offered to build a small pedestal that we'll have somewhere here ensconced for the next 50 years in Town Hall, or Committeeman Kennis's new Town Hall building. And we'll move forward from there. We kid because we care, and it's his birthday, so it's all done. It comes from a good place.
Is that my birthday present?
It comes from a good place.
I'll take it, Steve.
So I wanted to thank all the people. They're all unpaid volunteers, all of our folks, and thank you for everything you do. Lastly, I want to thank the 9th District. Was able to meet with them yesterday with some of our residents, Senator Connors, Assemblyman Rumpf, Assemblywoman Gove, to answer some of the critical questions that our residents have had. And they did carve time out, and certainly at no cost to this committee. So I want to thank them for that publicly, as I have done privately. And it's their duty as elected officials, and I'm grateful that that happened. Phone scams. I'll close with this. Please watch it. JCP&L. They're not going to ask for your information. And if you need a COVID vaccine from the County Board of Health or Robert Wood Johnson or anywhere, they're going to ask for the most basic information for you to help fill out a form. They're not going to ask you for your bank account. JCP&L will not call you and say, we're going to turn off your power and it's 30 degrees out unless you cut us a check or give us a wire or your credit card for several $100s. Don't fall for that. If you think it smells, call the police department. Our chief has been wonderfully above board in his efforts to protect our citizens. I will end my comments there and open the floor to comments. Yes, sir. Name and address, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Joe Bransford. I live at 113 Ambermist Way in Seabreeze. And I'm here tonight as the president of the Seabreeze Community Association. Just wanted to give you an update on where we are with toll and what we call the transition process going on now as toll eventually leaves. As we sit here today, there's 531 homes that have closed. That leaves 37 more homes to go. 30 of those 37 are under contract. So that leaves 7 more to be sold. So we suspect, and they've kind of hinted that they may be out of here by the end of 2021. So I'm here tonight because also at the board level, the trustee level at Seabreeze, we've gone from 3 toll trustees and 2 homeowners to a little over a year ago to 4 homeowners and 1 toll trustee. That means the homeowners are now responsible for running the place. And we're one step away from full independence. Toward that end, I see tonight, and we really didn't react properly, I think, and work with you. 2 resolutions were passed to reduce performance bonds. And going forward, we'd like to work with Veronica.
I provided several weeks ago to an engineering firm that you hired, all copies of all bonds, all letters, all everything. And then they
Terrific.
called me again today asking for the same stuff, so I don't know what
Terrific.
happened
So
with
we will
this.
follow up on
Yeah.
that. Thank you for that, because we want to be ahead of the curve.
Of course.
We don't want to find out 2
And
days
if
before.
they
because
meet what was approved in their site
I
plan
know.
approval, there's nothing we can do to deny it at this point.
I understand.
Yeah.
All we're asking for, from our end, is we've hired 2 people. A transition attorney and a transition engineering firm, and it is FWH.
Yes, that's what it
Dan
was,
Rush is
yes.
the principal, and he lives in Forked River, so he's giving us great attention. So he just wants to be ahead of it. If he now has this information, it's
Yeah,
either
somebody
law.
should, because like I said, a couple of weeks ago, we provided it all, and I had gone, there's several bonds still, you know,
I think they
several.
just want to get ahead of the curve, and before you pass a resolution, just make sure, because the purpose of the transition engineer is to look for deficiencies, so that toll doesn't leave and we find out that there are certain site improvements that were not done properly, et cetera. So we're looking forward to partnering with you, and I hope you like the update, and thanks for all you do. I'll end with this, as Committeeman Dykoff talked about these iffy storms. I had to live that experience explaining it to 528 residents, why we didn't shovel, why we didn't plow,
Wow,
why we didn't put product down, so we're living your life.
Why
in
didn't you,
Yes,
Montreal.
why
yes.
didn't, why didn't you plow curb to curb?
Yeah.
Like where I used to live, they used to plow curb to curb. Yeah, okay, sure.
And every sidewalk too, I think.
And the
yes,
sidewalks too.
yes, yes, so
So
you feel
thank
their
you.
pain,
Thank you
yeah.
for hearing us, but we want to work with you going
Thank you
forward.
for your comments. Any other comments this evening?
Seeing none, motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Oh, wait, no, gentlemen.
Sir,
You gotta be faster.
name and address, please.
My name is Bob Lesniak. I actually live in Seabreeze as well. I'm at 180 Arbridge. And first of all, I've been here roughly 7 months now. And I just want to say,
Welcome.
I am really happy, with the works that the DPW does, okay, as far as taking the garbage and all the stuff that I had to pay for up in North, okay, which is now, all part of what I'm doing today, as far as taxes and things like that. Also, working with the City Hall itself in the tax department, everything was just terrific. Everything was done professional, so I do want to thank everybody for that, okay? And because of that, I'm trying to learn about, I come from a small little town versus now a township, okay?
Okay.
And just want to understand, I guess that everybody is a liaison to different departments within your
Correct.
organization, okay? Is there a process that you guys follow and things like that? Is it documented or?
Related to,
Who's
The
appointed?
process of
January
being a liaison,
yes, it's resolution number 1.
okay?
It's available right on our municipal website, and it outlines all of the departments and sub-departments and other boards and commissions, and it appoints a liaison and a co-liaison of one of the members of the governing body.
Great, great. Okay, that's really, and great job. The other thing I noticed is all the old pictures. You'll have 150 years coming up. Do you have a historical society that?
Of course we do.
is working?
It's
Okay.
by Mrs. Walker's Ice Cream Parlor.
Oh, okay, very good. Excellent, excellent.
Listen, don't miss the German butcher. Not supposed to play
I've been there
favorites,
before, and
okay?
I'm very impressed. Actually, Mrs. Walker's too.
Yes.
Now, listen, that costed me a lot, because every other restaurant slash deli in this town is mad at me now. But you gotta go there.
I remember that.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Any other comments from the floor this evening?
Gene?
Make a motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Resolution for executive session, resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing a meeting of executive session to discuss matters of personnel, anticipate pending litigation and contractual matters.
Second.
Second?
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
And Mayor Kurtolo.
Yes.
Motion to
Motion to
adjourn.
close.
Move it.
Second. All in favor? Aye, no further business.